Good afternoon. I'd like to call our City Commission meeting for Tuesday, November 15th into session. We're going to request anyone that has a cell phone, please put it on silence or vibrate. We're going to have our invocation tonight by Reverend Lori Durgam, who's John's mother. Thank you.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Let us pray. Loving Creator, with grateful hearts we say thank you for all the blessings of life, family, friends, health, work, food, nature, hope, love, faith, beauty, and peace. Help us to remember that peace in our country and on earth begins in our own hearts, in our homes, in our neighborhoods, in our places of work, our schools, our streets, and in meetings and rooms just like this one tonight. Peace begins right here, right now. So we thank you, God, and we ask for your guidance, strength, wisdom, your blessing as you guide each one here tonight, those who so lovingly and tirelessly serve our beautiful city. And lastly, God, help us to remember that we are all your servants, that we must always be mindful of the needs of others and how we can help. For this and so much more, we say thank you, God. Amen.
I have Pledge of Allegiance by Commissioner Romulus.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Mayor Grant is absent. Vice Mayor McCray.
Here.
Commissioner Katz.
Here.
Commissioner Romulus.
Present.
And Commissioner Casello.
Present.
Quorum is present.
Thank you. Agenda approval, additions, deletions, or corrections.
I'd like to amend item 12B. That was the tabled election 50% rule that Commissioner Casello put on, and add two additional election-related ideas potentially to it, to add a discussion about something that's referred to as ranked choice voting. I'm a government teacher, so this is something fun for me. I'll talk about it when it comes off the table. And also add a discussion about the current term limit to 2 consecutive terms. Just add to the discussion.
Okay, but it's tabled, so what I'm going to do is go ahead and move it from the table. Now you can add whatever you need to add. Offer motion to remove from the table.
Second.
Okay, we will go ahead and let the record speak whatever you just said. That will be added for discussion when we get to new business 12B. Thank you. I'd like to pull from future agenda items under new business item 15B. I'd like to move it to 12C.
C, Vice Mayor.
12C, thank you.
I'd like to discuss it tonight.
Tonight.
Okay.
Could we move 12A to administrative, because that's the only item the individual is here to speak on today, and it should be quick.
Okay, we'd like to move it under administrative. Okay, so we'll make that 12. We'll make that 5D. Any others? Entertain a motion. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
It has been properly moved and adopted. Informational items by members of the commission. We'll start with Commissioner Casello.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I don't have really anything to report, but I'd just like to say a big thank you from the bottom of the Casello family's hearts. As most of you know, my mom recently passed away. Your letters of condolences and cards were humbled and comforting at the time of need, and so I thank all of you, especially the city staff. Made me feel like I have a second family down here, so much appreciated from the Casello family. Thank you.
Sir, and note of that, you do have a second family down here. We are family. Commissioner Romulus.
I do have quite a bit of information to share. I don't know if you want to save me for last or if you want me to get it right now. Vice Mayor.
Oh, no, we want the best now. Go ahead.
All righty. I
does that mean?
was quite busy over the past couple of days. Attended the dog park ribbon cutting. And I'm proud to also announce now that we are the only dog park, if I may stand corrected, but between Lake Ida and John Prince Park. So I'm proud that Boynton Beach is now very proud to welcome our furry friends here with us. That was a great event. I also attended the South Tech Schools Summit, so this was an opportunity for individuals in the community, business leaders, community leaders, civic leaders to really get to know South Tech and to really create the exchange and the dialogue of what we need in terms of employers and what South Tech has to offer. So this was a great opportunity, and I met several individuals within the community at that event. Attended 2 ribbon cuttings, one for Jamaican cuisine, try their curry chicken, pretty good. And also the International College of Health Sciences has also come here to our great city here in Boynton Beach. They used to be in West Palm, and we got them here, so glad to have them here, and they'll be doing a lot of great things, and they're bringing in so many bright, smart individuals from all around the country, patronizing our hotels, our establishments, so we're glad to have them here in the city. So welcome, International College of Health Sciences. I attended an event called Destination Lake Worth, and that was basically their opportunity to show off their CRA. They've been doing a lot of great things in their CRA, so that was a good learning opportunity for me, and to see what they're doing and how we can possibly keep us on our toes here in Boynton Beach in our CRA. Attended a Forest Park meeting. Also took part in the Veterans Day celebration, so thank you to our veterans for their sacrifice. Thank you so much for what you've done for this country. Your families have sacrificed, so we thank our veterans, and that was our way for celebrating that on Veterans Day last Friday. I attended the big golf tournament that occurred yesterday. That was a very interesting opportunity for me. I was part of the most honest team.
Not many of them.
No, there are not. For any of you who know what that means, it just means we came in last place. And we got something for it too. So I was just proud to have the other women that were part of my team involved in that, and it was a great learning opportunity for me. That was the first time, my hands touched a golf club and made connection with a golf ball, and it went flying. So, and not in the right direction either. But it was a very good time, and great opportunity to be there, meet some people, and really grow an appreciation for the sport. But all of it was for a good cause, so we're really happy, and we're going to have President of BIG, Mr. Tom McClure, share some information about that later on with us. I also attended the BIG meeting earlier today. Just want to give a little heads up about the future. So Wednesday we have the ARP coloring contest. So I know we'll probably hear a little bit about that in a little bit, but I will be there, and I hope to have some people there as well. So hopefully you guys will show up. That will be a good event. I do want to inform you that in the back, if you want to see Eleanor, please wave and hold up the flyers so everybody can take a look. We do have our Help Haiti drive that's been going on. It's been going on all month long, and it's going to end the end of the month, November 30th. This is a partnership of City of Boynton Beach with PBC Haiti Relief, which is a coalition of elected officials, Haitian American elected officials here, along with community and business leaders that are putting hands together to assist the Haitian community that has been affected very deeply, very terribly. A country that's already been devastated, but now has been brought to its knees by Hurricane Matthew in the beginning of October. So this is a drive to help give assistance to those individuals that are affected. So we're accepting medical supplies. So please, box of gloves, a bottle of Tylenol, whatever it is that you can. Or you can also write a check to PBC Haiti Relief, and that will be used. December 1st through December 5th, we will have a medical missions trip where we will be heading to Haiti. We will be heading to those areas affected in the south of Haiti's southern peninsula to provide medical care personally. We'll be bringing in doctors and nurses and firefighters, paramedics, all sorts of people will be going with us to provide medical assistance, and those who don't have any medical background, they'll be translating or standing there looking pretty. So either way, we'll be doing a lot of great things in Haiti, and we thank you in advance for your support. Those who have already contributed, we appreciate you. Again, Vice Mayor, I apologize for
monopolizing the time here, but I do want to make a special comment in light of the election results. I wanted to personally speak to you all here and also have this broadcast and aired for individuals who are looking at Boynton Beach and wondering how, what we stand on and what is personal to us. I do speak for myself here. If any commissioners disagree, if anyone else disagrees, that's all right, but I do stand and speak for myself, and I feel I have an obligation, especially because of the constituency that I represent and the individuals that look to me as a leader. I feel that I have a responsibility to make this statement. So in light of the election results and the actions and violence that has ensued since I feel, as commissioner sitting here, I represent the citizens of Boynton Beach, I have an obligation to remind anyone who lives in Boynton or visits Boynton that we as a city are not perfect. We have made mistakes in the past. As Boynton represents a microcosm of the U.S., these mistakes have marred our city our country since its inception. But I believe that we as a city have learned and are learning from these mistakes. I trust that our decisions made here for the interests of every resident. Our city is one that takes pride in inclusivity, whether it be gender, race, orientation, and religion. We will continue to be a gateway, as our motto says, opening our arms to all who choose to call Boynton Beach home. We will not let fear, hatred, bigotry reign our fair city. We will continue to be a voice of reason and justice amid whatever chaos may ensue. I am proud to be your Boynton Beach Commissioner, and I hope you are proud to live in this great city and these great United States. And I hope that we can all embrace this message and move forward in unity. God bless Boynton Beach and God bless America. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Romulus, for your comments. And although the mayor is not here tonight, you did not, harp anybody's time. You just used yours and the mayor's. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice
Commissioner
Mayor.
Katz.
I attended the South Central Regional Wastewater Board meeting this past week. I also attended the Veterans Day event that we held. I spoke to representatives from ISROM as well as Dave Katz on an agenda item for tonight. And that's it.
Thank you. Best for last. I'd like to say to Reverend Laurie Durgan, I'd like to say tonight, thank you for your prayer. I'd like to say also thank you for your son, John. I'm just saying, you don't have to sit so close to John. He's a good gentleman. I'm just saying, we're training him well. Thank you. But keep praying for him. He needs it, okay? Thank you. I attended the Veterans Day celebration, also the dog park ribbon cutting, Jamaican cuisine ribbon cutting, attended the chamber meeting. Commissioner Romulus, I'd like to say thank you for making mention of the election. I'd like to say thank you for souls to the polls that we all march. But I'd like to say to the citizens of Boynton and Palm Beach County, thank you for passing the 1-cent sales tax. Thank you. Now, more announcements, community and special events and presentations. Presentation by Human Resources and Risk Management staff about departmental operations. 5-minute presentation. Thank you. Just kidding.
Good evening, Vice Mayor, Commissioners, residents, staff, and guests. I'm Julie Oldbury, Director of Human Resources and Risk Management. And I'd like to introduce and recognize some members of our team who are here with us this evening. Our Human Resources and Risk Coordinators, Keela Miller, Andrea Javier, Jakira Jordan, and Cece Messon, who's presenting with me this evening. I feel very fortunate to work with such an amazing group of smart, talented, and genuinely kind young women who bring an unsurpassed level of enthusiasm, compassion, and dedication to their jobs each day.
All right, Cece Messon, HR Risk Coordinator, and I just want to talk to you guys about our role as a strategic partner. So as a strategic partner of the city, we are HR leaders. We serve as the change agents of the city. We also are the HR specialists who answer any questions related to HR in an effective and direct manner. We are here to guide our employees and managers in all areas of HR. We're also the city's strategic business partner as we help the other departments reach their strategic goals and plan for their continued growth, improved, and success of our city. And this is how we actually do it. Just a super quick exercise. I just want everybody to take their finger really quick, their index finger. Come on, don't be shy. And touch your chin. All right, so a lot of you guys were not fooled. However, that is just a little activity that shows that the way that we take action in these roles is by modeling the way, by inspiring a shared vision, by challenging the status quo, by enabling others to perform, and by encouraging the heart. And that little exercise just showed that it's important for us to model the way. It's important for us to not just, say that we're going to do something and do something totally different, but just to really say what we mean. So let's say it.
Okay, this slide categorizes our department's main functions or pieces of our HR and risk puzzle. We work from a foundation of policies and strategies that we continually review and improve upon. And then we have legal compliance issues that we have to manage. And we use systems and technology to keep our operations efficient and streamlined. Risk management is the area in which we focus on the safety and well-being of our employees and the general public. Talent management is what many of you will probably recognize more commonly as recruiting and the onboarding and orientation processes for our new employees. Compensation and benefits includes the structures under which we classify positions, pay people, and provide benefits such as health and life insurance. Performance and development encompasses the training opportunities we provide to employees, as well as the way we coach, counsel, and evaluate employees in their job performance. Employee and labor relations includes areas such as union contract negotiations, investigating and resolving complaints, and the overall collaboration with our employees and managers to ensure the needs of the city are being met through the collective efforts of our human resources. Now, each one of these functions could have like its own 30-minute presentation, but for tonight, we're just going to highlight a few areas. Some of our responsibilities within risk management include recommending the selection of insurance for our property and excess coverage for our liability and workers' compensation, ensuring a safe work environment and coordinating training on safe ways to perform our work, inspecting our properties and recommending solutions to any identified hazards, reviewing all incident and accident reports and running the incident review board, and managing our self-insured workers' compensation, property, and liability claims. Our recruitment and selection process begins with a job posting, which is based on a job description that we've carefully documented to outline each position's essential functions, required knowledge, skills, abilities, and competencies. We then advertise our positions on a plethora of job boards so that we can reach as broad an applicant pool as possible. We receive approximately 10,000 applications a year via our online recruiting system. Each one of those applications is then personally reviewed by one of our HR coordinators, and our interview panels always have an HR coordinator on them to ensure the process is fairly and consistently administered. Our department believes that diversity adds tremendous value to an organization, and as such, we're committed to maintaining a diverse workforce and have begun to track our hiring statistics this past year. This chart summarizes the city's hiring by gender and ethnicity for this last fiscal year, which was October 1, 2015 through September 30th, 2016. So during this time, we received 9,291 applications, and from that, we hired 139 people. So this equates to us hiring only 1.5% of those candidates that apply. The applicants column shows the number of people by the diversity characteristics that applied. The hires column shows the number of people by diversity characteristic that were hired. The applicant percentage column compares the number of applicants in a given diversity characteristic to the total number of applicants. And the hire percentage column compares the number of hires in a given characteristic to the total number of hires. So with this data, we compare our applicant and hire percentages to our city population, which is in the far right column. And we're using this data to see just how closely our overall employee population's diversity aligns to our city's diverse population. It's important to note that we do not select candidates because of their ethnicity or gender. We always select the most qualified candidate. But in order to increase diversity in hiring, we have to use this data to ensure that our recruiting methods are reaching a broad group of candidates. And so for this past year, it looks like overall we did a good job of recruiting ethnically diverse candidates in line with our city's population, but it appears we still have a little bit of work to do in attracting more qualified female candidates. One area which has been a challenge, not just for our city, but nationwide, is the rising cost of health insurance. And in order to address this challenge, last year the city changed its health insurance plan from a traditional co-payment, co-insurance model to a high-deductible health plan. And we've seen the results of this change in the reduction of costs to both our annual premiums and our claims. The top line of the graph shows our results from last year versus the remaining graphs, which are the previous 5 years. As you can see, the premium costs, which are noted in blue, range from approximately $7.2 million to $8.6 million over the previous 5 years, whereas last year these costs were reduced to just under $6.9 million. The claims activity, that's noted in the green bars, that ranged from $6.8 to $8.8 million in the previous 5 years, and this past year those costs were decreased to just under $4.2 million. Containing healthcare costs is always an important consideration in the city's finances, and this initial first year, the indications suggest that we're on the right path. And now I'm going to turn the remainder of the presentation over to Cece.
Sorry. So I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about the initiatives that we have in place or that we're planning on creating for our city. So some of the initiatives, one of the first initiatives that we're having is the employee wellness program and the implementation of an interactive, sorry, we're
to the right slide.
Yeah.
Terry, can you bring it back to interactive wellness programs, please? Thank you.
Sorry about that. So the implementation of an interactive health and wellness strategy is one of the goals of our department, and that's something that we're looking to bring for all of our employees. Some things that we're already doing include our annual health and wellness fair, maintaining our city gym, and the annual Let's Move campaign. So some of the initiatives that are underway include our on-site employee health and wellness center, our mental health first aid training, and the learning programs that encourage physical health, mental health, and financial health for all of our employees. So successful organizations...
Next slide.
Sorry about that.
Just tell me next slide.
Oh, Terry, next slide. Sorry. So successful organizations understand the needs and desires of their employees, and they work to create a positive environment where employees can be successful. One of our goals in human resources for our future is to conduct an employee climate survey, which will help us to holistically analyze the overall satisfaction of all of our employee population. Terry, next slide. So employee recognition is one thing we already know that is proven to be one of the best methods for improving work motivation and employee engagement. We're creating initiatives that will show our employees that we're recognizing their efforts and dedication. We acknowledge that when employees are genuinely appreciated and recognized with any chosen means of recognition, we reinforce the actions and behaviors we want to see exhibited throughout the entire organization. Our initiatives will focus on motivating and inspiring our employees. Terry, next slide.
And before we get to the next slide, I'm not picky, but kind of slow down, okay?
Will do, for sure.
Thank you.
So an area that is really near and dear to our department that we're looking to build upon is engaging with our community. So we already have an established internship and volunteer program that a lot of people already take advantage of, but I want to take this opportunity to encourage all of our community to absolutely volunteer with any department that they'd like to volunteer with and to look out for some of the internships that we may have available on our website. So our department is looking for ways to invest in the future of our community by fostering partnerships with local schools. One of our goals is to impact the youth of our community through career and orientation days. And actually, tomorrow is going to be one of the first activities that we actually put this into action, as we're going to one of our schools and going to conduct a career orientation day. We are also increasing our partnership and preparing to provide our community with an innovative career fair. With the participation of the rest of our departments, we plan to exceed the expectations of our residents as we provide information and career opportunities about our career opportunities here at the city. Next slide, Terry. So one of the initiatives that is extremely exciting to our department is the use of our social media. So not only are we increasing our efforts to engage with the community in a face-to-face manner, but we're also trying to reach as many people as possible through our social media. So we do have an active Twitter account, so go ahead and follow us at Boynton Beach HR. We are creating a LinkedIn page to help with our recruitment and networking to allow us to reach a broader pool of candidates, and we're actually very excited to announce that we are creating a YouTube channel that is coming to our city very, very soon. It will allow for tutorials such as tips on how to interview better, tips on how to dress properly for interviews, tips on how to fill out job applications, resume tips. It would just help our community, especially the youth of our community who is just now starting or leaving high school, on how to better prepare for the jobs that are out there in our community and in our city specifically. So we want to do that through a way that will allow them that they recognize best, which is YouTube. So those are all the initiatives that we have with social media. And next slide, Terry. And so this actually does conclude our presentation. Are there any questions that we can address right now?
I have one.
Sure.
Go ahead and clap. You said you'll be visiting one of our schools. I like a name, please.
Yes. It's actually going to be Atlantic High.
Atlantic High.
Yes, which is not necessarily within our community, but we do have plans to go into Boynton Beach High early next year in January. We are planning to also include them in a lot of the career fairs that we are implementing to reach out to our youth.
Thank you.
Cece, you lost some cool points on that one.
I'm sorry.
You lost
We're getting there. Don't worry. We'll get to our guys soon.
You really didn't lose any points because Seacrest High School really turned into Atlantic High School. I graduated from Seacrest High School, so you did not lose points. You gained points.
Duly noted, Vice Mayor. Thank you.
Cece, why wouldn't Boynton High be one of your first schools you go into?
We did reach out to that school, and we want to try and, to be honest, we want a trial run. We want to try and make sure that by the time we get to Boynton High that we have perfected our orientation day, our career orientation day. So we're going in with presentations. We want to try and actually bring people from our other departments. We'd like to bring, a water treatment operator. We'd like to bring in a police officer, a firefighter. So we'd like to come in with a group of us to just really talk to the kids one-on-one instead of just being HR. And tomorrow it'll just be HR. So we want to try and slowly but surely just get it perfected before we can really start it going. But we are going in there in January.
Thank you.
Yes.
Human Resource, I'd like to say thank you for your presentation. I'd like to say to staff, I recognize that when you all come before us, you all are a lot nervous. You don't have to be nervous. I'm just saying, you're not getting a grade. I'm just saying, just flow. Just flow.
Yes, you are. It's good practice
Slow down. Slow down. I was like that too, but I had to learn. I'm just saying.
I want
awesome.
to say that yesterday I passed by HR and I saw Cece actively, very vigorously preparing for this presentation. So great job.
Thank you.
And to the rest of the ladies, and Julie especially. Julie, good job on this one.
That's Cece.
You get
Thank
points.
you.
Cool points. You get cool points back.
Thank you.
Get it for that.
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies.
Moving right along to under announcements B, announcements by Recreation and Parks Director Wally Majors about the Looney Tunes Fun Day event, which will be held at Oceanfront Park on Saturday, November the 19th from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m.
Well, I'm not Wally. I'm Amy Blackman, Recreation Superintendent. Wally asked me to talk about Looney Tunes tonight. So good evening. How is everybody?
Good evening.
One of our Looney Tunes is one of our Play Unplugged series. It is at Oceanfront Park. And basically, Looney Tunes is celebrating a sense of community, making new friendships, and learning about the benefits at Oceanfront Park and our beautiful beach and all the benefits that it has to offer. Some of the activities that will be taking place will be a family games, volleyball. We're going to have a sandcastle building contest and a bury your parent contest. So if you have taken or eaten all your children's Halloween candy, beware. You may want to stay home on Sunday morning or Saturday morning. So it is Saturday morning from 9 to 11. And another great benefit is parking is free that day. So you can get buried and park your car for free. We also are going to have a slip and slide. I mentioned the volleyball, a lot of family games, and we're always promoting our selfie contest, and we love to see your pictures. So please like us on Facebook and Twitter and share your photos with us. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, C, announcements by Recreation and Parks Director Wally Majors about the 46th Annual Holiday Parade, which will be held on Saturday, December 3rd, beginning at 11 a.m. Also, since the parade was canceled due to rain last year, Tom Kaiser will again be the Grand Marshal this year. Wally?
Thank you, Vice Mayor, Commission. Wally Majors, Recreation and Parks Director. Good evening. I thought with as much as I have to share with you this evening, I'd let Amy take at least part of the announcements that I had to make, because along with the parade, I also wanted to talk to you briefly about the other events that we have coming up. Beginning on Friday, December 2nd, the Boynton Beach CRAs will be hosting their 46th annual tree lighting and concert at the Ocean Avenue Amphitheater. The festivities will begin at 5:30 and are scheduled to run till 10 o'clock that evening. The holiday tree again will be located as usual in front of the Schoolhouse Museum. The East Ocean Avenue will be closed from just west of the Schoolhouse Museum to east of the intersection of Ocean Avenue and Northeast First Street. And the tree lighting ceremony is scheduled to start at 6:30. Immediately following the tree lighting, there will be a free concert. The band is still to be announced, and the concert will go on till 10 o'clock. There will be vendors, both food and retail vendors, children's activities, and of course Santa and the elves will be there for an early appearance, because then the next day at 11 o'clock, of course, we host our annual parade. This will be our 45th annual parade. This year we are going to start at 11 o'clock, and the parade will run along Seacrest Boulevard, which is a little change because of the construction taking place along the 500 block of East Ocean Avenue and, of course, along Federal Highway. So we'll be going along Seacrest Boulevard, starting at 12th Avenue and working north towards Ocean. The reviewing stand will be on 4th Avenue. I know we put it at 3rd on the agenda item form, but staff moved it to 4th. I think it's just a better location. So we look forward to having that event coming up again on Saturday, December 3rd. And lastly, the Boynton Beach CRA is once again hosting the Boynton and Delray Beach Holiday Boat Parade. That'll be on Friday, December 9th. The parade starts at 6:30 and will travel south from the Lantana Bridge to the C-15 Canal in Delray Beach. Free public viewing areas will be available to the public at the Boynton Beach Harbor Marina and Intracoastal Park beginning at 6 o'clock and various locations in Delray. The Boynton Harbor Marina will have special visit from Santa Claus, so he is going to be very busy these next couple of days just here in Boynton. And there will be a lot of child-friendly activities, including face painting. Food and drinks will be available for purchase, courtesy of Two Georges. Live music will be, again, provided. Guests are encouraged to bring new unwrapped toys to donate to Toys for Tots, with representation on site by members of the U.S. Marine Corps. Parking will be available on site in the parking garage on the northeast corner of North Federal Highway and East Ocean Avenue, as well as through the valet service provided by Two Georges. And a follow-up awards happy hour will be held in the weeks following the event, where the winners will be announced and presented with their checks and plaques. And an event video will be available for viewing on the CRA Events YouTube channel. And now you can see why I asked Amy to help me out, because that's a lot. So thank you very much for your time. We look forward to seeing everybody, and thank you.
Thank you. I'd like to say for the public, Derek will be participating with us this year with the boat parade, as well as in body and financially this year. I'm just saying last year that was a little mixed up, but we're glad to have him back. Also like to say to staff, when I got my water bill this week, I noticed that the holiday parade events was in the water bill, and I want to tell you all thank you, a job well done. See, I do open up my water bill before it's due. Just want to tell you I did see it. Thank you. Presentation of a certificate to the City of Boynton Beach designating the City of Boynton Beach as an autism-friendly business from Jennifer Percival, Clinical Supportive Specialist for Transition at the Center of Autism and Related Disorders, acronyms CARD, at Florida Atlantic University, FAU, to be accepted by Debbie Majors, Grants and ADA Coordinator. You're the one from FAU?
I am.
Yes,
You
this
got
is
some
Jen-
owls sitting up here. Thank you.
Come on down, Vice Mayor.
Good evening. My name is Jennifer Percival, and I work for FAU Center for Autism and Related Disabilities. About 18 months ago, we started an initiative to help train businesses in the community to be more inclusive and to be autism friendly. Since then, we have 25 businesses in this region that have completed the program, and I am very, very proud to announce that the city of Boynton Beach is the first city to be one of our autism-friendly businesses. I would like to personally thank Debbie Majors, who has embraced this initiative. Over a period of several months, I came out and trained all of the city staff, as well as having our early childhood specialists come out and train the camp counselors here. And visual supports have been implemented citywide to help make the city of Boynton Beach more inclusive for people with autism. So we are very, very excited to present this certificate.
Thank you, thank you.
And this is a window cling for the city to proudly post on its window.
Thank you. You take all that.
Okay. Very good.
Be responsible. Thank you, owl. Give me a hug.
Jennifer, I just want to thank you too. We are so proud at the City of Boynton Beach to be the first city, but without FAU and the Center for Autism and Related Disabilities, this wouldn't be possible. It is. They have such expertise there at Florida Atlantic University, and I'm going to leave some of Jennifer's business cards in the back. If you have anyone in your family or know someone that would benefit from getting services through them, I highly recommend it. I think our city staff is much better equipped to be truly an inclusive city. Jennifer is part of our citywide inclusion support team. We have many nonprofits from around the city that I'm working with on a day-to-day basis to make sure that we're open and accessible to everyone. So, Jennifer, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.
I'd like to say thank you to Jennifer as well as Debbie Majors. I'm just saying, when I was at the barrier-free park, I'm just saying I learned a whole lot when we was there with Bella for the ball, and I'm just saying, you know, there is a need, and Boynton, we are moving in the right direction. 3 proclamations tonight. Proclaimed November the 12th through the 20th, 2016 as Hunger and Homeless Awareness Week. And tonight we have Ezra Cridge, board member of Homeless Coalition of Palm Beach County. I know I murdered your last name, but I'm sorry, you know.
You did a great.
Thank you. Must want this proclamation real bad. Proclamation. Whereas people from all walks of life, including families with children, employed and unemployed workers, elderly residents, veterans, disabled individuals, youth and individuals are impacted by hunger and homeless. And whereas with homelessness creates barriers to accessing essential services such as affordable health care, housing, child care, and education, the cost of these basic necessities often contribute to hunger, food insecurity, and people experiences homelessness of any given night in Palm Beach County. And whereas the theme of the National Hunger and Homeless Awareness Week 2016 is being homeless is not a crime, and those experiencing homelessness should not be criminalized for committing life-sustaining activities such as sitting, lying, and sleeping in public spaces. And whereas the City of Boynton Beach encourage all citizens to recognize that some people do not have housing and need support from citizens and private, public, nonprofit service entities. And whereas the intent of Hunger and Homelessness Awareness Week is consistent with the activities of the Homeless Advisory Board, Homeless Coalition, Homeless and Housing Alliance, Palm Beach County Food Bank, and other services providers in Palm Beach County. Now, therefore, I, Mike McCray, Vice Mayor of the City of Boynton Beach, do hereby proclaim November 12th through the 20th, 2016 as Hunger and Homelessness Awareness Week. In witness whereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the City of Boynton Beach, Florida, to be affixed at Boynton Beach, Florida, the 15th day of November, 2016. You all could clap while I sign my name, please. I'd just like to say that when I seen the food bank, I'm just saying, I go up there and volunteer. I just want to say I do work. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. On behalf of the Homeless Coalition of Palm Beach County, as well as the Palm Beach County Food Bank, thank you for recognizing National Hunger and Homelessness Awareness Week. According to the most recent count, there are more than 1,400 men, women, and children experiencing homelessness right here in Palm Beach County. And more than 150 of those people are homeless in the southern part of the county. Homelessness is an issue that affects every municipality in town. We hold the National Hunger and Homelessness Week every year just before Thanksgiving, so that when you all give thanks for the good people and the good things in our lives, it's also a good time to remember our neighbors who are experiencing homelessness. This year's theme, as the Vice Mayor said, we are concentrating on the legal issues that affect people who are homeless and people in municipalities and in the county who are affected by homelessness as well. We hope that the Homeless Coalition is working with police forces and other people within each of the municipalities who are interested on ways to work to help meet the challenges that homelessness provides. We offer that counsel and we offer some really positive solutions. If the city of Boynton Beach would like to work with us, we'd love to work with you. So thank you for this opportunity, and we hope that we don't have to come each year and ask for a proclamation, because we hope that we can end homelessness in our community. Thank you.
Thank you. We need to get a good picture of me, I'm just saying, so let's take it.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Next, proclaim November 26, 2016 as Small Business Saturday. We have no one to receive, but I would just say in receipt of, we will recognize this proclamation, Small Business Saturday. I'm attesting my signature as I stand here. I will not read, for we don't have a presenter. The next one is proclaimed December 1st, 2016 as World AIDS Day. Wendy Marcellus will be present to accept this proclamation. Wendy? Oh, that's why you were sitting up there. Yeah. How you doing?
I'm great.
Look, almost as important as I do. Thank you. Proclamation. Whereas worldwide, an estimated 36.7 million people are currently living with HIV, AIDS, and 35 million people have already died of AIDS-related illnesses, and an estimated 2.1 million new infections occurred. And whereas the global spread of HIV infections and AIDS necessitates a worldwide effort to increase communication, education, and action to stop the spread of HIV, AIDS. And whereas the United Nations Program of HIV, AIDS observes December the 1st of each year as World AIDS Day, a day to commemorate those who have passed on, celebrate victories such as increased access to treatment and prevention services, and to reinvigorate the worldwide effort to stop the spread of HIV and AIDS. And whereas the 2016 World AIDS Day theme is Hands Up for HIV Prevention and focuses on condoms, harm reduction, equal access, male circumcision, pre-ep, sex education and testing, and viral suppression. And whereas in the United States, more than 1.2 million people are infected with HIV, Every 11 minutes, a new infection occurs, resulting in an estimated 50,000 new unusual infections. And whereas the Palm Beach County HIV Community Prevention Partnership and the Palm Beach County HIV Care Council, through its partners, are working together to renew HIV/AIDS awareness and to expand and strengthen the local effort to stop the spread of HIV in Palm Beach County on World AIDS Day. Now, therefore, I, Mike McCray, Vice Mayor of the City of Boynton, do hereby proclaim December 1st, 2016 as World AIDS Day, and urge all residents of the City of Boynton to take part in activities and observances designed to increase awareness and understanding of HIV/AIDS as a global challenge, and urge residents to join the global effort to prevent further spread of HIV and AIDS. In witness whereof, I have here to set my hand and cause the seal of the City of Boynton Beach, Florida, to be affixed at Boynton Beach, Florida, the 15th day of November, 2016.
Thank you so much. So my name is Whitney Marcellus, and I'm the HIV Outreach Coordinator for an organization called Genesis Community Health. And we are a federally qualified health center right here in Boynton Beach. We're in the ER of Bethesda Hospital, a small 30-second commercial. But part of the work that I do every day is raising awareness about HIV and spreading prevention messages about the virus, and to really address the stigma that still persists about HIV. For those of you who don't know, HIV is something that still affects a lot of people in our community. Just in this zip code alone, 33435, there are over 400 cases of HIV in that area. And even though we've reached a place where more treatment options are available to people living with the virus, so, for instance, in the U.S., we only had about 8,500 deaths from AIDS nationwide. By comparison, we had about 85,000 deaths from diabetes, just as a small measure of how far we've come in terms of treatment for people who are living with the virus. To get to that point, a lot of lives were lost. A lot of people are still being affected with the virus to this day. So World AIDS Day, December 1st, every year, is a time where we slow down to reflect on all the lives that have been lost in the struggle, and to remember the people who are still living with the virus today, and to make sure that issue is not forgotten in the community. So I thank the City of Boynton Beach for proclaiming this day in honor of World AIDS Day, and I'm happy to here to accept that proclamation. So thank you.
For the good news for all citizens and employees. City Hall will be closed for the Thanksgiving holiday on Thursday, November 24th, and Friday, November the 25th. I'd just like to remind the elected officials that on Wednesday, November 23rd, the League of Cities will be hosted here in our city at Benvenuto's. That's at what time, Lori?
11:30.
11:30. Thank you. Come early so you can get a seat. We have a table, though. I'm just kidding. Public audience. I'd like to remind you that you have 3 minutes, but tonight I'm just saying if you have to speak on one or more issues, if it's not pertaining to the issue that you're speaking at, hopefully this commission, we will be lenient and let you go a little longer. I'm just saying, the mayor's not here, so we're going to have fun.
Good evening, Vice Mayor, Commissioners, and the rest of y'all. My name is Sonny Garcia. I reside at 1631 Northwest 3rd Lane, Boynton Beach. I'm here to speak on behalf of Bill Tomei. I put a flyer at your desk. Bill Tomei started the Bill Tomei Foundation for kids and families. I'd like to read to you. It says, friends, past supporters, and future supporters, I'd like to introduce my recent organization, charitable foundation, the Bill Tomei Foundation for Kids and Families. As you know, I've been involved with the kids and families of our community for decades as founder and director of the Boynton Beach PALS program. Although I retired in 2010, I remain active in our community, working as a police officer with the Palm Beach County School District. In 2013, my wife Linda and I formed the Bill to May Foundation for Kids and Families Incorporated. Our desire is to continue to offer opportunities and support to the members of our community who would otherwise not have the opportunity. A very important component of our foundation involves police officers and their families who will be volunteering their time to promote the bond between the local police department and their communities. We have recently applied for its 501(c) status with the IRS and are hoping to have approval before the end of the year. We are registered in the state of Florida as a nonprofit corporation. Currently, we are raising funds for a Christmas basketball tournament at Boynton Beach High School. The tournament costs are estimated at approximately $2,500. Any funds raised through the tournament will be earmarked for the school athletic program. We are asking our generous past, present, and future donors for contributions for the tournament and our athletics program in general. As always, I am available to meet with you to discuss my new foundation and athletic program at Boynton Beach High, or any other questions you may have. Once our status is approved through the IRS, we will be having an official kickoff where we will explain more about our foundation, our goals, and objectives. Thank you for your past and future support. Sincerely, Bill to May. As you all know, Lamar Jackson went to Boynton Beach High School, if you all know who he is. He's playing for Louisville College now. He's a coach at Boynton Beach High School, and he's up for the Simon Trophy December 9th or 10th. He's best known as the best player in the country. And this is one of the kids that he knew Bill, and I get work with Bill with the PALS program when he was going up to the PALS program. So we're asking for your support any way you can help for the new foundation, Bill to Make for Kids and Families. Thank you.
Thank you. Go ahead, sir.
Just a quick question. Here it says to continue to offer opportunities and support. What are those opportunities?
The opportunities are to help kids stay out of trouble, find a way to get into colleges to pursue a career, whether it's football, basketball, or track and field, whatever it is. And they're trying to help all kind of kids out and their families that are unfortunate that can't afford to help kids join sports or anything else like that.
So he mentors these kids in helping to further their careers or get into college.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
that's what he's doing.
You know, I like to put a plug in for Bill Tomei. Bill Tomei was one of our PAL officers here in the city of Boynton for many, many years. He worked with the Wildcats. I'm just saying, great guy, and he's still working with the city of Boynton. Somebody made mention tonight, why not start at Boynton Beach High? This would be a good chance for all of us to start tonight at Boynton Beach Community High by supporting the Bill Tomei Foundation for Kids and Families. Do what you can. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Hello, Susan Oyer, 140 Southeast 27th Way. I'm here to speak to you tonight on two things. First thing is from the Arts Commission. Kim Weiss, the board chair, is not here, and she wanted me to share with everyone. On behalf of the entire Arts Commission, and particularly the chair, Kim Weiss, we cordially invite and encourage you to be with us on Wednesday at 6 p.m. on the occasion of choosing the winners of our citywide Mindful Living Coloring Contest for Adults. The flyer's here in the back by Eleanor. Let's see. Oh, where am I at? Sorry. We will be joined by the director of the AARP Book Division, Jody Lipson, who is flying in from Washington, D.C. expressly for this occasion. She will name the lucky person who wins the privilege of having their colored page included in an internationally distributed book in January called Inspirations Mindful Living, published by the AARP and HCI Books, the same publisher best known for the original Chicken Soup for the Soul series. A total of 10 other winners will win a copy of the book, and we invite you to actually color on the wall in the library with us. And my understanding is there's cookies too. Yes, color on the wall, or at least a poster on the wall, and eat cookies with us too. Please, let's give the AARP a warm and hearty Boynton Beach welcome. Join us, and please tell your friends and family. And that's from Kim Weiss. And then I wanted to speak to you personally on the chicken issue. It's finally here, Commissioner Casello. I've thought about this for a long time just because I'm sure, Commissioner Romulus, you hear it too. There's a rooster about a block away from us. And every morning I hear this bird when I walk outside my door. I'm sure you do as well. I know the north end of the city, Vice Mayor McCrae's area has chickens all over the place too. So I started looking into this and found quite a bit of information, which I've brought a little bit to you every time, but I actually made a chart of all the information. And I think we should either look at this as do something about it and regulate it so these animals are protected, or continue doing nothing, or find some kind of halfway point in between. And the reason I'm bringing is because they're obviously here, so let's do something about it. Or are we going to sit there and say we're not going to do anything about it at all and let these animals be unregulated, and who knows what's going on? And that's my issue. And my one other suggestion would be on this, because I'm going to give you all the information to read on your own, and you can make your decision what you want to do, is maybe the city could look at taking all the chicken byproducts, I guess we should say, their daily byproducts, and maybe using that as fertilizer for the city. I don't know. I feel bad. What condition are these animals in? They're being hidden away. I know at the north end, Boynton traditionally always had chickens. My dad grew up there at 516 East North Seacrest. He had chickens and cows and goats and bunnies and everything. So there was always livestock here in Boynton, and it's still here. So are we going to do something, or are we going to potentially let these animals be in a bad situation? But they are there.
Susan, is there a particular area that has a large concentration, or are they just running around basically?
I honestly don't know. I just know the rooster I hear every single morning that's a block away from me, which means he's a block away from you too, Commissioner Romulus. I know I used to see chickens running all over the place at my dad's house because one of the neighbors had let them loose, and they were running all over and digging up all of our plants in the yard. I'd go replant all the plants in my dad's house every week. So there's obviously chickens running around. You don't need roosters. If you look at the chart on the green page, a lot of cities have banned roosters. We actually have a huge West Boynton area that has specialty chickens, that all the hard to find breeds that are so rare. So we actually do have a cellar in the area. There's a cellar down in Delray because Delray allows chickens. And they actually have a specialty bird store right a couple blocks off Atlantic Avenue. So I know they're in the area because you can easily go by them, whether West Boynton or Delray. So I'm sure there's a lot of undercover chickens out there. And I don't know that we necessarily want to regulate the world and get in everyone's business, but at the same time, these are animals. And
The city manager, if you do know, do we have an ordinance against chickens?
Against
That'd
livestock.
be part of the livestock?
It does not permit it.
Does not permit it.
But I'd have to pull it up, honestly. I haven't read it recently.
That's not fair to ask. Okay. Thank you, Susan.
Oh, you're welcome. But
Definitely
the
look into
chart
that.
shows information on a bunch of different cities. I thought you'd find that useful. Thank you.
Thank you.
So we will turn that over to our city
And thank you for this info. That's very good. That's helpful.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Tom McClure. I live at 2004 South Federal Highway, Boynton Beach, Florida, and Danbury, Connecticut. Tonight I stand before you as the past president of the Boynton Intercoastal Group. I want to provide you with a update of the golf tournament that Christine Romulus spoke about just a few minutes ago. Christine served as our honorary chairman for that, first-time golfer, and our honest golfer. And she was, in fact, the winner of our last place team. And I would wear that with a badge of honor.
Proudly, very proudly.
I would also like to thank the sponsors that came forward to support the big golf tournament. It's their financial support that allows us to continue to do good things here in Boynton Beach. I also would like to thank former Mayor Jerry Taylor for participating, current P&D Chairman David Katz, and Commissioner Joe Casello for coming out and being involved in our tournament. The Boynton Beach firefighters and the Boynton Beach Police Department. All of them together, all of that support has allowed us to exceed our financial goals. In response to that, I stand tonight here to present a check to Commissioner Romulus from the Boynton Intercoastal Group for the Palm Beach Haiti Relief Program for $750.
Commissioner Romulus, you came in last place on the team, first place tonight. Thank you.
Yes, that is for sure. The Boynton Intercoastal Group stands ready to support other programs within Boynton Beach. There's several of them that were mentioned tonight that are deserving of that, and I encourage the city commissioners to direct them over to the Boynton Intercoastal Group so we can financially support them as well. Mary Nagel of Boynton Beach has been appointed the new president of BIG, and will be continuing our programs within Boynton. She's an active member of that, and I think she will serve that position extremely well. Finally, I'd like to take a little bit of a personal perspective and say thank you to everyone that I've worked with here in Boynton over the last year on all of the issues that were facing the city and that was affecting the Boynton Intercoastal Group. It's been my pleasure, and I look forward to coming back early and often, to work with the city and the Boynton Intercoastal Group and the other associations I was involved with. So I thank you all for your pleasure and my pleasure of being associated with this awesome organization, and I look forward to supporting Boynton as we go forward. Thank you very much.
I just like to say, Big, under your leadership, you've done a great job with that organization. And I know we've always haven't been on the same side of some of the issues, but you've always been a gentleman in a first-class act in every kind of negotiations we shared. And I appreciate that. And we look forward to you coming back. And it's been a great run.
Thank you very much, Joe. I certainly appreciate that. And it's been a return. It's been my honor to work with each and every one of you. I would also like to say that I will be there tomorrow night, Christina, because my wife is one of the finalists in the drawing, in the coloring book drawing. So I will be there tomorrow night rooting her artwork on. But again, it's been a pleasure, and I thank you, everybody, so very, very much.
Tom, before you see it, I'd like to just say, from the citizens of Boynton, we do say, sir, thank you for all of your hard work, your endeavor. I'm just saying, just like Commissioner Casello said, we might not all seen eye to eye, but at least we walked out with a handshake and a smile. Sir, congratulations. I want to tell you that, and Godspeed, and continue to stay healthy and continue to keep Boynton in the forefront. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so very much.
Awesome
I appreciate that from everyone. Thank you.
I do want to brag on Tom a little bit before he leaves. This gentleman is someone who I met under a little uncomfortable circumstances. This was the campaign manager for my opponent when I was running for city commission. But just to tell you the caliber of this gentleman, who he is, and the authenticity that he exemplifies. On election day, he told me, regardless of the outcome of this election, I look forward to working with you. And when the election results rolled in and I did win, he kept that promise. He worked with me. We were, worked arm in arm to really move forward in District 3, and I appreciate everything that he's done. It's bittersweet that he's leaving. I felt like I just got to know him, and the city is losing an asset, truly an asset. We're losing tonight. So I love you. Thank you for what you've done. Thank you for your leadership here, and we appreciate you.
Thank you so very much. I certainly appreciate all of that, and thank everyone. Thank you.
Mr. Vice Mayor, just for a point of information, is Commissioner Romulus, is she one of the judges in that art coloring contest tomorrow?
I'm not for sure, but she did take an ethics oath. She cannot be bought. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening.
My name is Kiersey Proctor, address 2202 Northeast 4th Street, apartment number 6. I did not prepare a speech, and I am not a public speaker, so I'm just going to wing it. The reason I am here is I want to give you an idea of an area where I live. I'm talking about Northeast 4th Street and Gateway. We have the crossings on the north side of me. On the south side of Gateway, we have a quick stop, number of stores. I live in the condos right behind there. Most of you probably don't even know that the condos exist because all of the policemen and women that I've been dealing with in the past few months have never taken calls, so they don't even know the condos exist there. I've lived there for almost 18 years, and we are situated right next to the VFW, which then right next to that is the animal hospital or the veterinary hospital. The reason I'm here is a couple of things, is the store, the loitering, the homeless people that hang around this area, the little park area. We have dumpsters that are overflowing, so I don't know if another dumpster can be put out there. But it's the odor from that dumpster is just horrendous coming on to our side, and there is a ficus fence around our condos. The other thing is in the past couple months, we've had one apartment that got broken into 3 times. I had a man standing outside my window looking in at 9 o'clock at night. I have an alarm, I have a gun, I know how to protect myself if someone comes into my place. But like I said, I've lived there for almost 18 years and we've never had any issues. I'm just here to express my concern. Another board member had sent a letter, an email to Chief Katz, did not get a response back. I think also another email was sent to the city manager. I tried to reach out to the chief and assistant chief. I don't know what can be done. More policing. There's drug deals going on in our parking lot every day, all day, middle of the day, constantly chasing people away. We're looking into installing cameras. Unfortunately, since being such a small community, our budget is pretty tight. So.
I want to tell you, you have my sentiments. I do represent that district. I do know where the condos are. Assistant Chief Snow is here tonight. Also, our city manager, Lori Lavera, is here. They have heard your complaint through me. We will get a response back to you and find out what we can do. And you did a nice job of winging it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Vice Mayor, if you want to give her my business card, I'd be happy if you want to call me and we can sit down. I don't recall any email, but I'd be happy to sit with you, absolutely.
Thank you.
Yep.
Peter.
Yes. Dr. Piotr Blas, 113 West Tara Lakes Drive, Boynton Beach, Florida, 33436. So, first of all, I'm so happy that the city is responding to the problems of crime, and I know it will be genuine. I also want to tell you that on the corner of Woolbright and Congress, the owners of the 7-Eleven told me that when I was in Poland, there were 3 break-ins in the morning. So we need to alert Chief Katz to take stronger action against crime in our beautiful city. So far for the negative concerns. I am just so impressed and delighted with Christina and the incredible activity that she is bringing to the city. I think it's absolutely wonderful that you're commissioner, and I want to congratulate you alongside with everybody else. Let me speak a little bit about the election. As some of you may know, there were 1,200 independent candidates in the presidential race. You only heard about 2 or 3. But at the end of the day, the independent candidates seem to have decided this election. The margin was narrow, extremely narrow. So the Green Party, the Libertarians, and the others actually decided the election. You know, we tell young people, register and vote. Maybe we should tell them, register, vote, and run for office. This is not a passive democracy. There is one fact that I want to bring to everybody's attention. the winner of this election, and we're going to work with Donald Trump. Of course, he's the president, and there's no question. But we must know that he only received 20% of the adult vote in the United States. Only 20%. The system is not really working properly. It should be improved. It should be web-enabled. It should be made much better. And you will see some of us contesting the way the elections are run, and don't be surprised, because I repeat to you, it's quite shocking that 20% of the adults in America choose the president. And the press acts as if it was some kind of 95% victory, and it's a big joke this way. So now, let's return to our fair city. As you know, I am totally dedicated to having the University of Boynton that you know, if you know anything about Peter Blas. The latest vision, and I spoke with many architects, is that we of course preserve the old high school. We somehow build over it, we do something. But I am convinced now that there ought to be a very tall building there. In Europe, we see buildings up to 1,000 feet tall. And since today we have 20 more seconds, I think, if we do it properly as a private-public partnership, Boynton will actually be a rich city. There will be apartments, hotels, businesses there. We will be able to, not to increase taxes, but to refund taxes to citizens. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Before we move to administrator, I'd just like to say, about the police department here in our city. I'm one of those that champion that they need to do more. I still will say that, but I got a call the other night, and I did call Chief Katz in regards to some situation that was happening in District 2. And this was about the first time since all the calls I've made to Chief Katz that he really got choked up, and he said, Vice Mayor, my department is really at wit's end. We're stretched like a rubber band. He said, you know what? We really don't know now really what to do. Can you all help us? Now, saying, I'm just saying crime is prevalent. Heroin is on a rampage. Drug dealers, drug houses are everywhere. Sober homes are everywhere. In my district, you don't have to stand on the corner to buy drugs now. They know the homes. They just go there and purchase just like they go into the store. I'm just saying we do have a big, big problem. The fire chief can attest to this with Norcam. I'm just saying, that's an epidemic. It's on a rise. I'm just saying. And not only is this happening here in the city of Boynton, I talked to Delray, Broward County, Fort Lauderdale, Lake Worth. It's all over. I'm just saying, so, we got to help each other out. I'm just saying, you see a problem, step up to the plate and say, let me see what I can do. I'm just saying, don't be afraid to pick up the phone and call, as long as you're not a part of the problem, at least try to be a part of the solution. Thank you.
Mr. Vice Mayor, just for a talking point, our police department does a great job, and although Chief Katz might have mentioned that they're at their wits' end, they still perform 110%. And I don't want anybody leaving this room tonight thinking that this, like the Vice Mayor said, that this is unique to Boynton Beach. I sit on the Sober Home Task Force with Dave Arenberg's office, and I can tell you it affects a lot of the communities that surround here. And the Boynton police should be commended for having their hands tied in a lot of these cases and still performing the job that they do. And as far as Chief Joseph and his men go, I'm really getting concerned on the stress levels of your men and women that respond to these on a daily basis, numerous times during the course of the day, 7, 8, sometimes in the course of a day, and sometimes to the same address. And I just can't help wonder what kind of effect emotionally, along with the physical part of it, that it has on them. So I hope we monitor that, along with the police that also respond, because this is definitely a problem that's overtaken the communities. It really has. I can tell you, not going into a lot of detail right now, we're working as the task force, and there will be some legislative written to be put in front of the legislative body this next session. It's not going to solve the problems, but it will help about 50-60% of some of the issues that we're facing here. So it's not a answer to all, but at least it's a start, and we'll continue to work on it and hopefully get this under control in the next coming years. Thank you.
Thank you. Administrative appointments. Our mayor is not here tonight, and he has 3 appointments. I'm going to offer a motion that we table his appointments.
Second.
It has been properly moved and second that we table the appointments for Mayor Grant. The first appointment tonight will be for Education and Youth Advisory Board. Commissioner Katz.
I'll nominate Gregory Murphy.
Gregory Murphy has been nominated. Do I hear a second?
Second.
It has been properly moved and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Mr. Murphy is now on the Education and Youth Advisory Board. The next one is Recreation and Parks Board. That is my appointment. I'd like to appoint Howard Williams. It's been properly moved and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. B, authorize city commissioners to travel to Tallahassee, Florida to attend Palm Beach County Days, March 7 through the 9th, 2017. We'd like to know who's going. Go ahead, Tim.
Tim Howard, Assistant City Manager. Palm Beach County Days are scheduled for March 7th through the 9th, which is a Tuesday. You would leave on Tuesday, return on Thursday. We're looking to see, by commission policy, you need to approve each other's travel. So in order for us to have time to look for flights to Tallahassee and booking of hotels, we just need a number of commissioners that would be wanting to go. The mayor would like to. I've already spoken to him before he went out of the country. So if we can just get an idea of who would like to go, number-wise, we can go ahead and start looking for flights and hotel rooms.
And Vice Mayor, this is an item that we do budget for each year for several commissioners to attend. I always try to encourage all of you to attend if possible. It's an opportunity. It's an annual event that Palm Beach County government hosts up in Tallahassee and provides us the opportunity, and our legislators, our elected officials, to network and to approach and discuss items of interest for our city and our legislative priorities with our legislators at the state level. So it's a very good opportunity to have face-to-face time. We have meetings set up with each of them and really get down and talk issues that are important to Boynton. So I just wanted to let you know it is budgeted for you to attend.
I'd like to say to the individuals who have not been to Palm Beach County Day in Tallahassee, this is an awesome time to go and learn and see what, our state government really does like for our fair city. When we have problems, just like we have the sober homes, talking about the heroin epidemic, that'd be a nice time that we could stand before them and say, look, what kind of legislature can you put in place that will help us solve this issue? So if everybody want to go, it's fine with me.
I'd like to go.
Yeah. And Vice Mayor, I think you're going to be busy at some other matters, right?
Yeah, you go ahead and say it, Lori. Yeah, Lori, yes, I'm going to be campaigning, but I still can go to Tallahassee, though, if I want to. Thank you.
So we're
we'll be 4 of the 5.
We're going to look at 4 of you going.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's great.
With that decision made, we'll move forward with hotel reservations and flight arrangements, and Sylvie will be coordinating it with you. And because 4 of you will be going, March 7th is also a scheduled commission meeting night. So the next item on the agenda is for the commission to consider rescheduling that commission meeting. And we would be looking for probably Monday the 6th, because we're not sure when you would fly back on Thursday, the 9th. So you may not get back until late afternoon. So we would suggest March 6th, if that's okay with everybody.
Have a motion for March 6th for the city commission meeting.
So moved.
It's been properly moved and second. Ready for a vote? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Thank you, Tim, for taking over. C. I'm going to do mine now. New business, 12B.
So 12, this
12A.
one is...
Yeah, 12A.
12A, yeah. What's in front of you is Resolution 16-158. This is the authorization of $23 million worth of financing for our utility fund and to fund our CIP projects in the utility department. I was before you in August requesting your approval for me to work with our bond counsel and financial advisor as far as going out into the market to see what the market would hold as far as pricing. You gave me that approval, and I've worked with them for the last couple months. What came in, we did an RFP. We had 4 responses, and the responses were from Raymond James, JP Morgan Chase, Capital One Public Financing, and Bank of America. After reviewing the proposals, The recommendation from our financial advisor is to go with Raymond James. It is a 15-year note with a 2.45 fixed % interest. The bonds are callable after November 1st, 2026, which means that when we get to 2026, if something has changed and we need to refund them, we can refund them without penalty. So based on what we have out there in the market as far as outstanding debt, what we're looking at right now is we're going to what they call layer our bond payments for our debt service for the next 15 years. We have a bond that is outstanding in the utility fund that will be paid off in 2021. So for the first 5 years, we'll pay $563,000 in interest on the new note. Once the other bond is paid off, we'll start paying principal on this. What that does is it raises our annual fiscal year debt service payment from about $6.1 million to $6.6, and it remains $6.6 for the next 15 years through 2031. The advantages to the bank note is that there's much lower cost of issuance and closing cost on it, and it's a much quicker turnaround as far as closing. We'll close on Friday, and the funds will be wired into our account. So what's in front of you is the resolution approving the execution of those documents.
This is open for discussion. Questions?
And it's based on our current rate structure in our utility fund. Payments do not come out of our general fund. It's paid with user fees in the utility fund. And based on the current rate structure, there's not an anticipated increase in rates to pay for it.
I have a question. By us accepting this $23 million bond, this will not affect the rating of the bonds for the entire city?
Right.
No. Good. Mr. James is here tonight. Would he like to say something to us? I'm just saying I signed my life away up here.
Mark Raymond, our bond counsel, is here.
Yeah, come on up there. You'll be running. That's $23 million.
Well, good evening. My name is Mark Raymond. I've had the honor and privilege of serving as your bond counsel since 1987. I prepared this resolution. It complies with all the applicable legal requirements. City Attorney Jim Cheroff has reviewed it. I believe he concurs. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to try to answer them.
Questions for our bond agent? Go ahead.
Tim, last year you did refinance some bonds that was not utilities, or it was utilities?
It was not utilities. Last year was public service bonds. We refinanced that with a 1.95% interest rate.
At a
2.45%.
And that's the best that we could do?
Yes.
Tim, this sum of money, is this going to be sufficient to cover what we need to finish the projects or the projected projects?
Based on our current CIP in the utility fund and discussions between Colin and myself, we anticipate this will be the financing for the next 10 to 15 years.
How does the penny sales tax account into this?
It doesn't. Penny sales tax will fund infrastructure cost in our general government, and this is separate into utilities.
Questions? May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second? I'll second it. All in favor? Aye. Aye. It's been properly moved in second. Thank you. Consent agenda. Anybody need to pull anything? I'd like to pull item B, D, and E for discussion. D and E. D, no, forget B. D.
No, B.
D and E. D and E, right. Tim, you can come back up for D, please. The reason I pulled D is this is the closing of our fiscal year, and I'm just saying any time that we do this, I always like to ask them how much money did we save and have left, and I'd like for you to state it tonight for the
Certainly.
public.
Tim Howard, Assistant City Manager. Item D is Resolution 16-154 in front of you. It's a requested budget amendment. According to statute, we have 60 days following the end of the fiscal year to come to the Commission and do a cleanup or housekeeping type of budget amendment. The one that's in front of you does not increase the overall budget for the general fund. It reallocates budgeted funds between departments and line items. Vice Mayor has requested in the past to know how we came out of the fiscal year. And right now, it looks like we're coming in about $1 million under our budgeted expenses. It's still subject to audit and all those things, but this is the final housekeeping budget adjustment that we need. That would go drop into reserves.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
I'd like to offer a motion that we accept proposed resolution number R16-154.
Second.
It's been properly moved and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Discussion for E, 35 vehicles, equipment, and surplus, and approval the sale of these items via the auction process. The reason I pulled this was that I know a lot of people like to say, you know, to staff, did you all try to salvage everything that you can, anything for the golf course, tractors, anything like that? I just need to hear from you all that you all went through this process due diligently.
Yes, during the process, before Public Works presents this item, they check with various departments to see if, one, they review the vehicles, determine what kind of condition they're in, and if they're usable anyplace else in the city before they bring it to you to ask for declared surplus. Either it could be that they've went past their useful life, and the anticipated amount of maintenance on an ongoing basis is more than what they would want to entertain to keep them in service. And by our policy, you as a commission need to declare these items surplus and authorize auction for vehicles.
I know we had that discussion yesterday, and I was concerned you had some Kubotas in the front lawn, and I asked you if you had talked to the golf course, and you assured me.
I checked with Jeff Livergood, and he and his staff has went through and reviewed those items before they're sent to you.
Thank you.
Other questions? Motion for all consent agenda items, please.
Second.
It's been properly moved in second. All in favor? Pass. We move now to bids and purchases over $100,000. Any questions? Motion for approval?
So moved.
Second.
Been properly moved in second. All in favor?
Aye.
Code compliance and legal settlements, none. Public hearing. The City Commission will conduct these public hearings in its dual capacity as local planning agencies for the City Commission. Number A, the Brass Tap, COUS 16-006, request for conditional use approval. Bar and nightclub, I'd like to hear from staff.
While everybody's coming up, this is a quasi-judicial proceeding. If you're here to testify or you think you might want to testify, please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this proceeding will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Do.
Thank you.
Staff.
Does the staff go first or the applicant?
Where is the applicant? There you
As
go.
applicant, whoever wants to go first, go. Yeah.
Brief description of what you are requesting and an indication of whether you agree with the staff conditions of approval.
Okay, great. Hi, my name's Matthew Baum. I'm with the Brass Tap. We're right down the street at 950 North Congress Avenue. We've been there for a couple years. We're, for most part, a full-service restaurant. You know, we serve food the entire time we're open. We open at noon, close around midnight. And we've always been beer and wine only with food. We a little short of the 51% requirement to have a 4COP SRX license, which allows you to sell alcohol as a restaurant. So we went for the change in use to be able to obtain a quota license to allow us to sell alcohol as well. The Brass Tap is actually a franchise, and it's been a system-wide change in use in terms of offering alcohol as well to be more of a all-inclusive restaurant. So this is our way in trying to stay a part of what the up and up with the franchise and being able to do all that.
I have a question. Your neighbors around you, I'm just saying they're in favor of this. They have no questions, no qualms about us doing something like this, going to the alcohol.
Sure. I mean, as far as I know, we've posted all the notices. We have our landlord approval, and so I haven't heard any concerns. But for all intents and purposes, I mean, we don't plan on changing our our use. No pun intended, I guess, because that's what we're here for today. But the way that we operate our business. So I mean, we have another place in Pembroke Pines where this has already happened. The sale of liquor is about 14% of our product mix. And overall, it's been a positive on our overall revenue, but hasn't changed any sort of clientele or use in any way.
I'll just add. I live right down the street from here in Renaissance Commons, and I've been going to the Brass Tap since they opened. And it's a great establishment, and if this will increase revenues, which will make the business better, then I'm fully in favor of it. It's in a great location where, one, it's not going to create any more noise or anything like that to have people drinking liquor versus beer and wine, but it's in a location that already facilitates this type of activity with an outdoor patio and everything. So I'm a big fan of the move because I think it opens up their potential for customers who might not like beer but want to drink something, and they shy away from a tap room because it only serves beer. So I think it's a good move for their business.
I appreciate that, Commissioner Katz, and that is a big thing. It's eliminating the no vote for us. I mean, we still specialize in craft beer and stuff, but as you said, there's people in a group that just shy away from beer.
Right. Staff have any comments?
No, nothing to add. No calls or complaints or anything about the notification for the bar use. We do recommend approval with one condition.
One condition.
That is to get a live entertainment permit should they choose to do live entertainment in the future.
I do.
Say you're just a little under the 51% there. How much little?
5%.
5%?
Yeah.
Okay. And what about disturbances? Have you had much with trouble as far as patrons or having to call the police or anything like that?
No, knock on wood, we haven't had any, bar fights or something like that nature at all. It's a pretty docile crowd for the most part.
Okay.
I get a motion for approval.
So moved.
Second.
It's been properly moved and second. All in favor? Aye. Nay? Nobody.
I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Nervous, wasn't you? Let's go to B, Smart Starts Daycare. COUS 16-003, MSPM 16-006. Approve request for conditional use approval associated with the request for major site plan modification approval for conversion of a 13,640 square foot office building to a daycare facility and related site improvements located at 3452 West Boynton Beach Boulevard in the C1 Office Professional Zoning District. Applicant is Bradley Miller, Miller Land Planning, Inc.
Good evening, Vice Mayor and Commissioners. Mr. Attorney, I probably need to be sworn in on. I didn't know if it was that one or all of them, or sorry.
Swear affirm the testimony you're about to give in this proceeding will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Thanks. And thank you. Bradley Miller, Miller Land Planning, 508 East Boynton Beach Boulevard, and here representing MG3 and the Smart Starts Day School. This site is located at the southeast corner of Knuth Road and Boynton Beach Boulevard. I remember when I moved here in 1990, it was where you first went to get your driver's license in this building, and then it changed into some medical offices. It's been vacated and unoccupied for about the last 3 years and is in some dire need of some upgrades here. It's surrounded by, to the west is a gas station. There's a BP gas station to the west, medical office building to the south, the Stonehaven single-family residential community to the east, and then across Boynton Beach Boulevard is office retail. This is the, as I refer to it, the lovely structure that's there now, and this is what we're doing here is actually using that structure, but updating it and taking away the ugliness of it, if I can be blunt, and improving on it, but yet reusing a building that structurally is still sound. So our site plan, the slide is oriented here at Boynton Beach Boulevard on the right side of the screen and Knuth Road to the north. And the beige buildings there are existing. There's about 10 classrooms that will be incorporated into the interior of the building. We've taken out the parking lot area on the north side of the building, which is the big green area there on the right side. That'll be the play area for the children. And then our parking is to the south side with circulation around the exterior. There's a little over 13,000 square feet there. With that square footage, the number of children that can support from ages 0 to 6 are about 200 children. The play area itself, we're required to have 6,300 square feet. We almost have twice that in the play area, so it's a great retrofit for the site. There's buffers that around the perimeter, larger buffers along the roadways, and then buffers to the east and south sides of 12 and 14 feet, which actually exceed the requirements by code. In addition to the east side of the property, we're actually going to be installing a new column and panel wall along that side adjacent to Stonehaven. It's a code requirement to provide this wall. And they actually have a wooden fence that's there now that's, if they choose to, they could take that out. The wall is, I think, going to be a nice improvement to that side. Our public art is going to be in the little courtyard area that's in the middle of the site. We've got 45 spaces, parking spaces that are required, 52 parking spaces provided, and the hours of operation are going to be from 6:30 to 6:30, which is pretty routine for daycare facilities. If you drop that into the aerial, this gives you a picture of how it fits in. Access to the site is actually off of two spots, off of Knuth Road. So as you come off of Boynton Beach Boulevard to Knuth, you can make a left turn in. There's some slight roadway modifications that we're making to that to extend that turn lane to help facilitate the traffic. Also, coming from Knuth Road that goes all the way down to Woolbright, you can turn right into the property. And then we have already gone to DOT and have their preliminary approval of a new driveway off of Boynton Beach Boulevard, which will be for right in and right out only. As you exit, again, you can go north or south on Knuth, or you can continue east on Boynton Beach Boulevard. So there's good circulation for the property. I should point out for a daycare, it's actually a health department regulation that there's a sign in and a sign out for all the students. So it's not a school situation where the parents drive up and the children are left out the door and there's a queuing problem. It's in this case, the parents take their child, sign them in, back to their car and out again. So it's a park and drop off your child as opposed to a circulation and steady flow of traffic. The children themselves come kind of in a sporadic time frame depending on the parents' schedules and what they are. So it ranges from probably 7 in the morning up till 10:30, I would say, and then there's little weaker gaps, and in the afternoon it's the same thing. So it's spread out a little bit more throughout the day. The building itself, these are our colored elevations that are submitted, and there's a board in front of the other podium on the other end of the dais. But the elevations really don't give it justice of what it's doing. This again is the condition of the site now, which is it's in poor condition, and we're going to be modifying the site so.
That's going to become the play area, right?
That will become the play area. That's right. So the green area there is replacing that parking lot that you just saw. There will be a rail fence that goes around it, the whole play area with columns to keep that steady and strong. Landscaping around this is going to be huge. It's going to be a lot more than what's out there now, and will be there for protective measures as well as aesthetics.
High is that fence?
The fence, I believe, is 6 feet, 6 feet high.
And the pillar, you said pillars?
There'll be some concrete, if you will, columns
that someone skews off of Boynton Beach Boulevard, God forbid, these kids will be protected. That's my question.
Correct. Yes. And that's the purpose of those columns.
Okay.
Yep. Along with, there's a number of trees along there that will slow up a car, if not stop it. There's some actually very nice oak trees that are already there in the right-of-way, especially along Boynton Beach Boulevard.
Sir, excuse me, you're the owner?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I should have introduced. John Gavenis is here from MG3. He's my client and the owner of the property. And Carlos is our architect here, if there's some questions for those folks.
Yeah, because I'm just saying he said yes, and we want to make it for the record, that we know who said that. I'm just saying if you're going to speak, sir, you need to come here.
Sure. Okay. I'll cover that for him. The columns are there for the safety purposes in that design. And that was something, as we are going into the design of this.
Bradley, that yes came for the fence. It wasn't about the columns when she said about the fence, 6 feet, and he said yes, that's what, okay.
And it is 6 feet. As we were going into the design, the tenant here of Smart Starts actually were the ones who preferred the play area in that location. Obviously they've thought it over well and felt it worked better for the circulation. To continue here, this is a view from the south. Again, just kind of a comparison of how the building is and the entire site is going to be truly upgraded. Smart Starts, they have about 12 or 13 facilities. They're expanding into this area. They have a focus and a curriculum that work with kind of a dual language, Spanish language enrichment program and hands-on. So they're an established daycare and learning center is actually what they really prefer to be called because of their curriculum. So with that, we have staff's recommendation. Their staff report goes through the 12 standards of the conditional use that's required for the daycare. We have, I think it's 5 conditions of approval that are very routine that pertain to engineering plans that we have to submit as part of our permitting anyway. Planning and Development Board gave us unanimous approval, and be happy to address any of your questions and ask for your approval.
Bradley, I need you to go back a couple slides to the picture with the play area next to Boynton Beach Boulevard.
That one?
Back one, the overlay, this one. Why was it designed that way, where you have the play area towards a high traffic area rather than maybe switching it and having it the other way around to be a safety measure and protect those kids a little bit better?
That was something that actually through the layouts that I just mentioned, as we were going through it, there's 2 different things. It was the Smart Starts who said, we like it better up there. We have control of it up there. And then the circulation of cars coming into the parking lot in the rear area and circling out back out into Boynton Beach Boulevard works better from that internal circulation within the parking itself. Having a driveway on Knuth Road as close as it is, there's actually one there now that we're taking out, helps the overall traffic pattern. And the safety of the children is always number one, no doubt about it. For Smart Starts, that's going to be their first priority. So they certainly took that into consideration as we worked with them in coming up with that design.
Was it not possible to, those buildings that are there, pushing them towards the Boynton Beach side and flipping the green to be towards the parking lot, was not possible to do it that way instead?
We looked at that, but because of the circulation issues from the traffic, and again, the buildings are there. They're existing. So we're working around those existing buildings. The 2 choices were either the plan that we have here or the flip of that of having all the parking on the front side. circulation within the site itself works a lot better and we feel is safer for the kids internally to the site, which is where they're going to be outside of the fence area, works better in this situation than having the play area in the back.
That it's still giving me a little heartburn having it like that. Please just talk about the safety measures that you guys have taken into accounting as you've developed this landscape and the pillars and everything else.
Right. Bradley, excuse me, before you go any further, I'd like to call it to Commissioner Romulus' attention that we have a daycare facility right up west here that's on Boynton Beach Boulevard. And when it came before the commissioners prior, when I was sitting up, we had the same concern. But the way that they took measures to prevent, any cars from going in there, knock on wood, we haven't had an accident, nobody left the road or anything like that. I do feel your concerns, but I felt the same way. But they have thought about it, I'm just saying, and with the fence there, I'm just saying, behind that is residential. They didn't say that, and Bradley did not say that. To the west of that was the cow pasture, but I'm just saying anything, that they're doing now is an improvement for that site. I'm concerned about children's safety as well, and I'm quite sure with the fence and the perimeter around it that they would be protected. I'm just saying I don't want to be too far back. I'm just saying so nobody could really see the kids. I'm just saying closer, for visibility it'd be nice for me. I just like kids to be seen.
To address your question, Commissioner, along the most concerning corner would be right there at Knuth and Boynton Beach Boulevard. We have the columns that are part of the fence system that are going to be concreted. They're going to be footers into the ground. Those are going to be spaced out along Boynton Beach Boulevard and along Knuth Road. In addition to that, we have trees that are placed on the outside of that fence that are probably 15 to 20 feet apart that are there, along with hedge material, the fence itself that is also obviously not as strong as those concrete columns, but they're still part of it and concreted into the ground. So all of that. There's also our sign is going to be right at that corner as well, which is going to be another deterrent. There's along Boynton Beach Boulevard, I think there's 5 oak trees there that are now probably 10 to 12 inches in size, so which are going to serve probably better than any bollard that you could put there. There's been plenty of consideration into the location and the safety of it. I get your concern completely. Our client obviously has the same concern. If that's his whole insurance plan right there, is to have those children safe. So
thank you for clarifying on
sure.
that.
I just like to say I feel a lot comfortable with this one here than the last daycare that we approved, that this commission approved in the middle of a commercial parking lot. So I'm pleased with the way you presented this, and I just like to say, Mr. Miller, you always have the best slide presentations. You make it pretty easy to follow. So
thank you.
Appreciate that.
Motion to approve.
Second.
It's been properly moved in second. Discussion. I'd like to ask staff, y'all have any comments in regards to this project?
No, we worked with the applicant quite nicely, ended up, as he mentioned, with just 5 conditions of approval, and staff does recommend for approval.
Thank you. On the floor for a vote. All in favor? Aye. Approved.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll go to C, proposed resolution number R16-150, approve the issuance of a notice of intent, NOI 2016-01, to adopt pending amendments to the City Lands Development Regulation, LDR, related to the sitting and installation of wireless communication facilities, WCF, located within the right-of-ways of the city limits.
Motion to.
Second.
Been properly moved in second. Open for discussion. Staff, I'm going to ask you a question. I'm just saying, it says the right of way. Whoever's going to do this, I'm just saying.
I'm sorry?
Go ahead.
Mike Rohn, Planning and Zoning Director. I was just going to
yes.
ask for clarification of your question.
Go ahead. You're going to ask for clarification? My whole take is that I do understand about the right-of-ways, and I'm just saying that this is a way that we need to stop things from getting out of hand, and I'm glad that we already got a motion for approval and a second. I'm just saying, I'm letting you know that we are 100% behind what you all are doing. We don't want these up in our right-of-ways, and I'm just saying, thank you all for working so hard. Ready for a vote. All in favor? Aye. Just I want you to think you came to the meeting and didn't have nothing to do.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm like, why do you call him up here?
Let's go to D, proposed ordinance, first reading, public hearing, approve the fifth extension of suspension of the application and enforcement of the workforce housing program for a period of 1 year. Staff.
Vice Mayor, while they're coming up, let me read that title. An ordinance of the City of Boynton Beach, Florida, amending land development regulations, Chapter 1, Article 5, Section 2, Workforce Housing Program, amending subsection 1, suspension of program, continuing suspension of application or enforcement of the Workforce Housing Program for a period of 1 year, providing for automatic reimplementation of the application and enforcement upon the expiration of the stated time period, providing for conflict severability, codification, and an effective date.
Good evening. We'll hear from staff.
Good evening, Andrew Mack, Director of Development. The items before you, the current Workforce Housing Program ordinance has a sunsetting provision that lifts the suspension on December 15th, and staff is requesting time to study this further and bring a new change to the ordinance to be presented to you within 1 year.
My understanding that the statistics that were used to create this ordinance in the first place were from 2006?
Correct. The initial ordinance was created in 2007 based on a study done by FIU. The school did a housing study in 2006, and all the data and information there was used to formulate the current ordinance.
Okay. And just from my conversations with staff, and due to the fact that we're using decade-old statistics that not only are a decade old, but were based on a period of time during a housing boom that not only blew up, but is certainly not returned, that we heed staff's advice to extend the suspension so that they can get accurate statistics from the current time period so we can make informed decisions about what to do with regards to workforce housing, which I do support, but I think it'd be irresponsible to try to continue an ordinance that's based on decade-old kind of stale data, in my opinion.
Additionally, we've already contracted with Metro Study. They are under contract currently, and we'll be doing an update to the 2006 housing study. We hope to have that within 90 days.
So, Mike, we're working with a consultant. I'm just saying to update what we already have in place, and I'm one of those that's in favor as well of the 1 year, extension.
I agree with the 1 year extension. Get it right.
Before we, move on with this is one of the initiatives that I'm very passionate about because of the fact that we live in a city that is right now in the process of development, and we want to make sure that we have a city that will not alienate or outcast individuals simply because they may not be able to afford the level of rent that's coming in with the development that's coming into the city. So this workforce housing ordinance was meant for that purpose. I do agree with Commissioner Katz that, yes, it was made at a time where we were not able, it's not currently sustainable now. We can't use those same standards, those same statistics then that we're using now. So we do need that study, but I would like to entertain a motion if the board would agree to actually bring down that 1 year time frame to about 6 months. And we have spoken, Andrew and I and the city manager, and along with staff does concur that that is an adequate time frame for them to be able to make those amendments, get the results of the study back, and to be able to implement a new ordinance that would allow for workforce housing to be in place. It would not be rushed. It would not be halfway done. It would still be properly done. It would allow for the proper timing to do that. So I'd like to make that motion for 6 months rather than a year in order to make sure that we do not leave behind or lose the opportunity that could come before us to ensure that we have adequate housing for the population of most of the individuals sitting in here, where we wouldn't be able to live in downtown simply because we wouldn't be able to afford the rent of the development coming in.
Just to speak to that, Commissioner Ramos is correct. We did have discussions as far as the timing. The reason that the year was requested was based on the current workload of the planning and zoning staff. We're currently with the implementation schedule for the CRA plan, the recently approved moratorium, the NOI that was just approved tonight, and some of the other items that are pending for us. That's why we had requested the 1 year. A part of that, if we were to go to the 6 months, we would need to hire outside consultant to assist staff with to expedite that.
Mike, let me ask you a question. Although if we give you the 1 year extension, that doesn't mean that you have to wait for the 1 year. You could do it 6 months, 3 months down the line. I'm just saying we're just making sure that staff itself has enough time to do what is required before it comes back before us.
Correct. We could do it sooner. Absolutely. Yes.
Right, but I'm just saying if we go ahead with the 1 year and staff could do it sooner, then it will come back before. So I'm just saying I'm still in favor of the 1 year. The motion on the floor prior to Commissioner Romulus was 1 year, and it was second. All those in favor for the 1 year?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Nay.
Thank you. Motion passes 3-1.
I would still like to add that my position in asking for the 6 months is that we do have a development cycle that's in play here where we have Town Square coming up. We have several projects on the docket that could potentially get off from having to deal with this workforce housing initiative because they would come in before this potential ordinance is in place. That's why I'd like to ask for that 6 month time frame to be put in place. But if the commission doesn't agree, that is fine.
Thank you. Number 10, City Manager's Report, none. Unfinished business, none.
Vice Mayor, let me go back 1 second. You need a roll call on that.
Roll call.
Commissioner Romulus?
On the vote we just had?
Yes.
On the
No.
ordinance itself?
No.
Commissioner Casello?
Yes.
Mayor Grant absent, Vice Mayor McCray,
Yes.
and Commissioner Cat.
Yes.
Thank you. Moving on to new business, item B. Commissioner Casello has requested to discuss the possibility of a referendum for the March 22nd, 2017 election campaign, changing the provision of a candidate elected from 50% plus one rule, table on December the 6th, 2016. I'd like to offer a motion that we remove this from the table.
Second.
Okay, and the reason I'm all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. The reason I want to remove it from the table before we discuss it is for Commissioner Katz, the things that you said, we'd like for it to be stated for this section while we're here.
Right. I'd like to add to this discussion about what's referred to as ranked choice voting. It's basically a different type of balloting system that's used in cities in California and somewhere in the Northeast. There's a couple states that have it as well. It's also used in some other countries in Europe and Australia. But next time when this comes back up, I'll have a brief video that explains what ranked choice voting is. And basically what it does is it runs a simultaneous runoff if nobody gets the 50% in the general election, so that there's a way that we don't have to hold a runoff election, because you can cast on the initial ballot a second choice if your choice comes in last place. The video will do a lot more justice than I'm doing right now. But so I'd like to add ranked choice voting, and again a discussion regarding the current term limit rule for the city as well.
Thank you. Since the mayor is not here, you all want to discuss it tonight? You want us to go back and retable until he's here?
Oh, we can go back and retable it, and we'll give the mayor a fair shot at it also.
Thank you. Anybody want to offer a motion to retable?
Motion to retable.
Thank you. Been motion to retable and approved. Second for December the 6th, 2016. All those in favor? Aye. Community Redevelopment Advisory, pending item, city service survey for the CRA. Okay. Nothing there. Legal.
Vice Mayor, actually, before we do that, did you not move the future agenda item?
Thank you.
Off up to 12C?
12C. Thank you. That's why you're over there. Okay. I'm having fun. Okay, that was 12. Was it 12C?
Yeah, we moved it to 12C. It was future agenda item B.
C.
15B.
Okay. All right. In regards to this, to discuss an amendment of the city zoning regulation, LDR Chapter 3, Section 3D, to allow medical offices as necessary uses to a residential development. And I was the reason I brought this up and wanted to have it removed was I gave Lori some information tonight for staff to go ahead and start studying this and to bring back something for us. And a lot of people say that they're getting afraid of this because of sober homes, but I'm just saying that is not the reason that this is here. When they wanted to do Ocean Breeze, they wanted to have one of these in the Ocean Breeze, and I'm just saying, why people getting nervous now. I'd just like to have staff to go and go ahead and proceed with this and then see what they can bring back to us, and then we can discuss it as a commission to find out if we are in favor or not in favor of this.
Are we asking to give direction to staff?
We're giving direction to staff to go ahead and proceed to bring back ASAP as soon as possible things that we can do, so that it would not seem like that we're trying to present this so that sober homes can move in. The language will probably have to be tightened up ASAP as soon as possible.
Since you bring up that there are concerns regarding the potential for some sort of sober home issue regarding this, I just want to make sure that in the direction to staff that they include their perspective on the doors that this might open up if those concerns are valid or otherwise.
That's for staff.
And timing, sir, Vice Mayor, I think I was trying to communicate that with staff. I think we're asking it's going to be February.
We would be looking to bring something back to you first quarter 2017.
First quarter, because this
based on the holiday schedule and the current workload.
Right. And we'll be reviewing this along with other text amendments I know we would be bringing forward about that time. And right now, our absolute 100% priority is to get some of this consolidated CRA plan stuff done. So we just flat need a little bit of time to be able to do that.
Right, so what you're telling me that it cannot be done in January, can it be done in February, first meeting in February?
I think we could have some type of report back to you to give us direction on.
First meeting in February is fine with me. Rest of the commission? All right, you all have your directions. Thank you. No other future agenda items? Legal? Yeah. Thank you.
No, just waiting to see if you wanted to take it for me there. The first item is 14A, requesting approval of the City Commission to settle the Byron L. Harris Jr. versus City of Boynton Beach lawsuit for $600,000.
We don't want to do this, but it needs to be stated that this is coming from our insurance company, and this is something that has been pending litigation that has been before us. And to put this behind us, because we have a lot of litigation that came before this city, I'm going to go ahead and offer a motion as I sit here tonight to go ahead and approve this.
Second.
Discussion?
The floor is open for discussion.
This stuff drives me crazy. It really does. And we sit up here and we settle for $600,000 because it's a business deal. It's about business. It's not about what's morally right or wrong. Here we have offices here, and we all know there's an FBI investigation going on. My question is, does this have any effect on a civil case against the individual offices? Does this say there is some sort of wrongdoing and we as a city or insurance carrier is willing to pay over $500,000, something that hasn't been decided in the courts yet? Those are the things that drive me crazy. I don't think it's right. I think that it's too easy for these insurance companies. I've sat behind these closed-door sessions now for almost 4 years, and I don't ever remember taking anything to court yet. It's all been based on business decisions. I think they've been bad decisions in some of the cases here. I don't agree with this. These gentlemen here, they've stated in depositions they did nothing wrong. The chief stands by his men. By agreeing to the insurance company's settlement of $600,000 to this known felon, it gives the wrong impression that the Boynton Police Department has done something wrong, which they haven't done. It hasn't been proven in a court of law. So I'm not in favor of this. I know why we're talking about it. I know it's a business settlement. It's bad business as far as I'm concerned.
I'd like to say in regards to what Commissioner Costello said, when we sat behind closed doors, we did give legal ramification that said go back and see what you all could settle for, and whatever you could settle for, this is what they came back with the insurance company. It would probably cost more if we'd had to go to trial than the $600,000. I do feel your concern. a lot of things that go on I'm not happy with either, but, you know, we just need to get this behind us, just like Commissioner Ramos said tonight about the vote, said, you know, let's move on, move our city forward, and we need to, you know, just go ahead and move forward at this time. That's why I'm approving this.
Why the hurry to settle this when we can wait till it goes through the court system? That's the issue I have. Why the rush to judgment to pay over $500,000 to this guy when it hasn't even gone through the courts? If there hasn't been no indictments down, we don't even know if they did anything wrong. Why would we settle something that hasn't been, vetted out in the courts of law? If you could just
like a lot of lawsuits, this mediation that led up to the recommendation for settlement by the insurance carrier precedes trial. So what it does is it eliminates the trial setting on the cases, which is where the risk is. And it was the carrier's determination that without making any admission with respect to the conduct of the city or its officers, that they did anything wrong, that to eliminate that risk of trial, they were prepared to spend the money.
But don't you think this sends a message? I mean, if I'm out there in the public and tomorrow headlines is going to read Boynton settled $600,000 case, what's the perception out there, public perception is of Boynton Beach?
I can't weigh what the public perception is.
I can tell you, as opposed to...
I hope that what will be reported will be your comments about the officers not engaging in any conduct that was determined to be inappropriate, and that this was, in fact, a business settlement. I hope that's the message the public gets.
Me too.
And the $600 is entirely from the insurance company, correct? $600,000?
Yes.
So the potential, if we did not settle, would expose the city to tangible liabilities?
Correct. Amounts over and above the settlement that the carrier was prepared to make.
So we're not responsible for the first $200,000 of this?
I think we already used that.
That was already paid.
That's already been paid? Legal.
And I'll share the sentiment that Commissioner Casello said, that if you read the details of this case, it's a testament to what most people know, and I don't pretend to understand the mentality of the individual who did this, but he was going to be pulled over for a traffic stop and fled. And best case scenario, when you flee the police, is in addition to what you were originally being pulled over for, now you're going to tack on a bunch of additional violations of the law. And worst case scenario almost happened, where one of our police officers was struck and almost killed by a car in the pursuit of this individual. So it just, again, I don't try to put myself in the mind of other individuals, but I can't fathom how running from the police in a major city will ever result in a better situation, even if you fear what's coming from the pulling you over in the first place. So I don't like any of this, obviously, as Commissioner Casello said. But from a business standpoint, the city at this point now has their damages capped at the legal fees, which we've already hit. And this $600,000 does not come out of taxpayer funds. If we were not to settle, there's the potential that the taxpayers could be hit with, in addition to the $600,000, more damages on top of it. So I agree that, from the perspective of what the police did, I don't see any wrongdoing. It's a sad story where if someone had just pulled over their car, an individual on our police force would not have been horribly injured or killed potentially, and we wouldn't have to be in this situation. So it just, common sense, if the police turn on their sirens to pull you over, just stop your car. It cannot possibly get better by running from the police. And this certainly didn't, and almost turned, even more tragic than it was. Thank God nobody was killed. But that's why I'm in favor of it, just because at this point the case is what it is, and we're mitigating damages for the taxpayers.
Just a quick question to Ms. Chernoff. Does this jeopardize, or does it take under advisement or consideration by a jury or a judge in future cases against these potential cases against our offices?
There are no other civil cases pending against the officers.
But I'm saying if one was to be handed down, could this be say, well, the city, although we didn't admit any wrongdoing, they did make a payment of over $500,000?
No, that type of information is not admissible in a court proceeding.
That's all right. Thank you.
I like to make my final comment, and that was that when we did mitigations and we was behind closed doors, we had a training officer from the Boynton Beach Police Department who reviewed the tapes and said that what they done was not correct. And I'm just saying, so this is why I'm in favor of the $600,000. And it's been properly, we already have a motion on the floor and a second to accept this. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you.
Second item is a request for a closed-door session in the lawsuit George Wade versus the City of Boynton Beach. Hopefully before the next City Commission meeting. We'll need about 45 minutes for that closed-door session.
We're looking at 5:30.
5:30 would be fine.
All those in favor of 5:30 meeting prior to our commission meeting, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. December the 6th.
Aye.
You need anything else from us?
No, sir.
Thank you. We finished everything. Okay, future agenda items, self-explanatory. Motion for adjournment.
Wait, I'd like to make an
Hold
announcement.
on.
I'd like to make an announcement. Do have this flyer up here. Officer Shrek. I do not want to even try to attempt to say her last name, but she has been appointed as our new citizens. I don't know what her title is exactly, but she's taken over for Officer Rita Swan, and I'm proud to have her and going around our city and representing us and informing our residents. We do have a Citizens Police Academy that's going to be held this upcoming January. I'm sure we'll be getting some more information from our PD about that soon at our next commission meeting or in the future. But if you're interested, please join.
Before we adjourn next time, I'm just saying if y'all can bring Officer Shrek to our meeting so that we can see the individual, be helpful. I'm just saying I like to associate a name with a face. Thank you. Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Well, let me hit it.